The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy Do-Wally, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X-Bacon Gamin'.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy D-Wally here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Joining me, as always, is the co-host, Jose Chipotle Bear Martinez. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. So it's been a very long week, but hey, man, it's almost Friday tomorrow. And we got a very special guest joining us here, which we'll learn about shortly. But I'm doing great, man. Happy to talk about some games. Happy Thursday, everyone.
And joining us, as always, we'll get to that special guest in a second, the intern to the co-host, X-Bacon Gaming'. How are you?
Fellas, it's the best week in sports going on right now. The Masters. Freaking sick. Let's do this.
Best week in
Easily.
sports. You heard it. Oh, don't forget, Rockies opening day. Had no idea. Had totally forgot. Had no idea. That's how much
We
I
still
care
have
about
a
those
baseball team?
losers.
They beat him. They won today, bud.
And making his grand debut. He should have been here last week for episode 100, but he had other obligations, but we forgive him. Joining us for the first time, one of the originals in the original Nerd Chat. He's been there since 2013, the launch of the Xbox One and Fallout 4 in 2015. He's got a special edition Fallout 4 console. Please give a huge TNC welcome to Billy, aka Goose Sonamaker. Welcome to the show,
Sweet. Man, I'm excited to be here. I'm with you on that Bacon Masters week. Gotta love it. You know, Jose, you look great as usual.
Too bad.
And then D-Wally, the fearless leader, man.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
Goose.
But no, I know I missed last week, but let me tell you what's more exciting about episode 101.
Tell me.
Okay. You know me, I'm a big fan and former football coach. Consistency, right? You guys did it. You made it to 100.
Thank you.
Now you became the mountain, so keep climbing. You know what I mean? So 101 means more to me than 100 for sure.
Heck yeah. Appreciate it. There, there's the football coach coming right out of old Billy Sonamaker. Goose, why don't you tell our audience very quickly a little bit about your gaming history and some of your favorite consoles, games, just couple minutes, just tell us your background and then tell us actually save what you've been playing for later on. But yeah, tell us about yourself and what you do.
Man, okay. So I remember like the first console I got was the NES. Okay. So, kids nowadays don't even know what that is for sure. Right. But I'll tell you what, my most favorite underrated console of all time, TurboGrafx 16. Did any of you guys have one of those?
I did not, bud.
I have no idea what that is.
So TurboGrafx 16, 16-bit, whatever. It also ran instead of cartridges, it was these like little cards, like cards that you would slide in and whatnot. And it had a bunch of killer games.
Wait, what year was this?
Oh God. It was before Genesis.
Before the NES? You had to have, or around it?
Yeah, it was around the NES, kind of. Man, it was, I'll tell you what, that was awesome. I had a buddy whose dad was like super into big, he had like the Intellivision and TurboGrafx 60, all those obscure consoles like that. So growing up, I would always go to my buddy Adam's house and his pops always had them. And I mean, Ataris, everything. So I just kind of got used to platformers and side scrollers and that kind of stuff growing up. And then, Jose always points out my love of, what was that, Civilization?
Oh, an Age of Empires, right? Or was it Civilization? I can't remember.
Civilization. I got an ungodly amount of hours on that. That was.
And then what are some of your favorite, your first Xbox memory and how
first
you got
Xbox memory? So that was actually high school when the original Xbox came out. Was it that 2002,
2001?
Yeah, 2001. And I got to play the Xbox the first time in a hotel. I was playing lacrosse, and a bunch of guys brought the consoles to play Halo. And that was the
Heck
first
yeah.
time was like a LAN party in the hotel
Oh,
with the lacrosse
man.
team going after it. So that was my first experience with Xbox.
This is in
I
high
was
school,
so-
right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
high school. And then in college, man, it was when the 360 came out and it was Halo 2. I mean, dorm rooms, sports
Crazy.
teams. I mean, it was wild. It got serious, like lots of
Or no,
money.
you're thinking Halo 2 was still Xbox original.
Was it?
Yeah. And
Right.
then Halo 3 was in 07 with the 360.
Right. Whatever. I can't remember, but in college, man, we played the absolute heck out of Halo. I mean, money, gambling on the line. And then, you know, like my favorite story, though, with the new Xbox, D. Wally's the one that took me down when Fallout 4 came out. And, you know, what we was at midnight at GameStop. We drove down there and hung out and got me the Xbox with Fallout. Right. And yeah.
Do you still have that? Is that back there somewhere?
Yeah. I got it in a box somewhere. So,
oh man, I'd love to see that because that was that. Yeah, because it's got the faceplate. That was like one of the weird random limited editions. So, shout out, and then of course Billy and I and Jose, we had all played a bunch of Halo 5 Guardians, the old breakout and halfback dive right up the middle. We loved Halo 5. Goose actually hasn't played too much Halo Infinite, even though he has a Series X and has access to it. I don't know what he's been doing. I still see him on Fallout. And I still see him on Skyrim. You know, that's basically, he's just like Miso Pony. He plays what he likes and he's going to stick to it. So he's still waiting for that. He's going to be waiting a while for the next Fallout because hopefully Starfield will scratch that itch. But thank you for coming on the show, Billy. One of our most loyal listeners, always writing in. He's written in many times before, but always been in the chat. Billy, what's your Twitter handle? I'm trying to tag you right now.
Oh, I am a ghost on the social media.
You took it off?
After I got done coaching, I nuked all the social media and no more. I'm free.
Okay. I'm just going to say special guest Coach Goose, who's joining us. So thank you for joining us, Billy. We're going to get more into what he's been playing later. Guys, let's jump into some huge TNC shout outs, Jose. We got to give a huge TNC shout out to Robert Egan, aka King of Chickens on Twitter, for following the show. So shout out to Robert. We really do appreciate the follow on our Twitter. And then we've got a bunch of new YouTube subscribers as well. Oh, somebody just wrote this. I don't remember this. Was this you, Bacon? Peyton Ince and Slaying Crocheting. That is also
on YouTube.
A great name as well. Those are some good names too. And then a huge TNC shout out to Ains, aka Porsche Power, aka the host of and creator of Seasoned Gaming over there on their podcast and their website. He liked our 100th episode tweet and he was so generous. He retweeted it, giving it some more a bigger audience. And so shout out Ains. We really do appreciate that so much.
Yeah, thank you, man. Truly.
And shout out to Insipid Ghost as well for liking our tweets. And of course, Mariano Pampa as well. Beast Mode 10. Thank you guys so much for liking our tweets and shouting us out. We really do appreciate that. And Goose, since this is your first time on the show, is there anyone you'd like to shout out on your first appearance?
Well, I always got to shout out the wife for, allowing me to hang out with the boys and game on the weekends, when you can. So definitely got to give her a shout out. Other than that, no, you guys, man, just appreciate you having me, all that good stuff. So,
I think we're ready to jump into the news. So let's jump into the Xbox news for the week, Jose.
News team, assemble!
And this is, I guess this is actually kind of Xbox related. I'm really interested to hear Goose's perspective on this because I don't even know if he knows about this. He doesn't know any of the news that we're going to talk about, but can't wait to hear what he thinks of this one. So it is official, you guys. And this is coming from Grant Taylor Hill over at Insider Gaming. And we've got a lot of stories from over there. So shout out to insidergaming.com. The ROG Ally pricing and release date revealed. The leak claims, and this is a real handheld portable PC gaming device from Asus. And on April 1st, this was first teased, and everyone thought it was potentially it was fake. And I went, what? Speaking of fake, we got to talk about what good old Bacon and how he got fooled big time on Battlefield. We'll talk about that later. And Jose, they both.
I'm not fooled. I'm just a hopeful. I'm hopeful.
Bunch of noobs.
Right.
Here we go. So the Asus ROG Ally. I'm sorry, I want to say ROG Ally. I know, Jose, it's Republic of Gamers. I don't care. It's just easily.
ROG.
It's much easier to say the way. It has a 7-inch 1920 by 1080 resolution IPS display with a refresh rate of 120 hertz. Not only that, but Asus has claimed that the ROG Ally is quieter than the Steam Deck and more powerful. There's also an upgradable M.2 SSD port, as well as an expansion drive in the form of a micro SD card reader. Furthermore, the Ally can be linked up with Asus ROG XG external GPU device, which means that gaming power with the equivalent driving force of an RTX 4090 can be linked to the device when docked. And this is most important to me. It's Windows 11 out of the box, which makes it more compatible with way more games than the Steam Deck. Hence the marketing hashtag play all your games. So, Goose, if you just Google ROG Ally, you'll see images of this very sleek looking device. I'm a big fan of Asus's their laptops in general. I was thinking about buying a small 14-inch portable gaming laptop, and they're all about their new cooling and all their motherboards. And I did want to say there is on Reddit, one user stressed that they got their hands on with ROG Ally and confirmed that the console's pricing points. And they also stated that some features had been skipped in production so that the ROG Ally could remain competitive with the Steam Deck. So reportedly, there will be 2 colors at launch, white or black. I'm going with the white on black. Of course, I'm doing that. And the storage capacity is what drives the price. So supposedly, this is, according to the leaker, the price for the 512 gigabyte is $649 while the 1 terabyte device is $899. And according to the leaker, the release date will be October of 2023. So coming up in a few months, about 6 months from now. Billy, I know you've put in a bunch of time on your road trips on the Switch. You probably play the Switch more than your Xbox. I mean, realistically, at this point, you're all about that handheld gaming. I gotta know, does a device like this interest you? With in mind, Billy, you can play Xbox Game Pass games. We think you should be able to, since it's running Windows 11. So you could pick up your Starfield on your ROG Ally, play it on the road, then come back home and pick it right back up on your Series X, or even better, Bacon on his real 49er super mega computer. Does a device like this interest you, or are you going to stink to the stinky Switch, Billy?
Well, I'll probably stick to the stinky Switch for sure. But like for me though, like all these devices, here's the issue with all of them. For me, every handheld,
those big
device,
old paws. He says that with the Switch having these smallest of tiniest like Joy-Cons and buttons ever created.
Right. Like and that's the biggest thing is like I can't do it. Like just handhelds for me, I'm just not a big fan of them. You know what I mean? Unless it's like Game Boy and I'm sitting there playing Tetris for 16 hours straight, which I could do no problem. But like, it just doesn't, like they're not going to do that. If I don't know, there's something about just being able to sit down and play the game and, and also too, like, honestly, for me, like when I was coaching, I might think about it. Cause like you did talk about a lot of bus time, it would be cool to shake it up. But at the same, like if you're not always moving and shaking, I don't see the point of it if I could sit at home and play on my console and that kind of stuff. So.
I agree with you. I do like my laptop when I travel, like when I'm in Pennsylvania. It's incredible. Like the fact that this thing can run I can run any modern game right now solid at 1080p is amazing. But to have a dedicated handheld device, it's got me interested, Billy, just because of battery life. But we don't know battery life yet, so that's the big thing. So I'll throw it over to Jose. Jose, is this the handheld device you've been waiting for? And also, I saw, shout out to Colt Eastwood. Or no, it was actually Miles Dompierre. He said, when is Xbox going to make a dedicated hardware device yet? And I kind of disagree with him on this, Jose. Why do it when you're trying to sell Game Pass? Have other manufacturers like Asus, like Steam Deck, like whoever else could get in like, who knows? Maybe HP Omen will make one. We don't know. let them do that, and then you just sell Game Pass. So go ahead, Jose. Are you interested in this device? I'm interested, and if it's at these prices, $650, that's pretty dang good. That's pretty good. Go ahead.
So that's the thing. So for the record, I am very interested in the ROG Ally, and it's an interesting thing. So a couple of nights ago, if you want to see a little bit more, like you want to actually see it in action, there's 2 videos you can watch. One of them is on the channel Dave 2D. I really like Dave's stuff. He's really into gaming, and he's pretty honest about everything. He's not over the top or anything, but he got a hold of one from ROG. Like they literally actually visited him and gave him. And to be fair, it's a prototype model. And he mentions that in the thing. He says, like, there's a couple times where he's like, I know you want to know about battery life, but they've already told me this is not the final item, so I can't really comment on that. But his review was pretty optimistic. I mean, he was like, this thing is pretty sweet. Like, it is definitely competitive. He's like, I like the form factor of it. I like that everything feels comfortable. He goes, it's incredibly quiet. He actually did like a decibel test, and he was
that was impressive
when he did like the load for the Steam Deck and the load for this, where it was noticeably like factors of quiet more. I also, the one thing I know people have already said about it is like it doesn't have the like touchpads the Steam Deck has. I was never super intrigued by those. Granted, I've never had a Steam Deck. I know Bacon does or did, so I want to hear from that in a second. But this seems to fit the bill that I'm really actually interested in. And here's the thing: I fully agree with Goose. I think that Goose is right to say, like, if I'm at home, I'm going to pick my OLED and my Xbox 99 out of 100 times. But here's the use case that I'm actually really interested on this for. It's honestly when my wife is still awake and we're like watching TV together, because it's just become a thing. And maybe, you say what you will, is that we watched shows together, but they're not high intense shows. Like when we're watching,
you're not watching like, Vanderpump?
Like absolutely not. Like never. But like when we were watching like Last of Us, or when we're watching like our favorite shows, we're not on our phones, right? We're invested in the show for the 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. But most of the time she's watching Naked and Afraid. I'm watching, probably something nerdy or whatever.
Whoa. You're going to give me crap about Vanderpump and Housewives.
You're not my wife.
You and Victoria are watching Naked and Afraid.
No.
Come on.
She is watching Naked and Afraid.
You're there too.
I am watching Naked and Afraid because I'm next to her, right? But that's my point. In those moments, right? I want to be near my wife. I don't want to just be like, all right, baby, you go upstairs. I'm down here. I love you. Good night. I like that time, but this would be a really great time for me to do that. Now, granted, I know there's all the questions about like, how's it going to be with lag and stuff like that, but I'm not looking to play intensive games. Like this isn't my gaming time with my boys playing Halo, playing those multiplayers. This is like, I would love to play Starfield on this, where I can just go explore a planet, or I can clean out a dungeon, or, the equivalent of it. Like this has me really, really intrigued. And here's the other part. My daughters are 5 and 8. Right. And this summer, they're going to be doing a lot of swimming. I mean, I'm talking like most of our summer will be going to swim meets, and they're like 6-8 hour events, bud. And a lot of it is just like, I'm waiting for their event to swim, and then they swim for 67 seconds and then we go wait again. This is a choice item for me to have. Now, granted, it's not coming out till October, but you know what that tells me? This is like right in time for Christmas for me, bud. So I'm actually really pumped about this. I want to see how it develops. I was originally kind of with you, Dan, because I know there's been chat about the Vita and stuff where it's like, why can't Xbox make something? But I think this is actually a really smart thing with Asus and ROG. Like this would be a cool partnership for the Xbox to try to maybe pull as it grows, especially if something we're going to talk about in our next news story. There's rumors of like kind of a new PS Vita. This kind of stuff fits real well. And the other part of it, because it runs Windows 11, I'd like to get into some Steam games. Like there's a couple of small indie games that I would like to play on PC that I'm not going to play from my computer because it's a Mac. We've talked about that before, and I'm not going to buy a gaming laptop for that reason, just to play those small games. So this is really hitting that niche for me. And I as much as I'm always intrigued by the 1 terabyte option, like it's my instinct with technology is like always get more than you need. The truth is, like, I'm not going to be playing multiple games at one time on the Steam Deck. So 512 is plenty for me in terms of space and the operating system. So,
and you can get an 1 terabyte SSD right now for $70, $60.
Yeah. The other thing I'll just say, if you want to see another video too, if you don't want to see Dave 2D, check out Linus Tech Tips. He also got a prototype copy. And I mean, as much as whether you like Linus or not, he is also brutal about everything.
He's brutally honest.
And he liked it, man. He was definitely intrigued by some of the specs and stuff. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what's coming, but I would like to hear from Bacon as well. He's our resident PC expert. So what say you, Mr. Bacon?
Before I throw it over to Bacon, Jose, just there is an option for you right now. You can stream to your phone from your Xbox and hook up a controller and play. I was playing with Pony a few nights on Friday the 13th with my controller and just with my phone. And I'm telling you, there's very little lag. Like it's quite impressive if you're doing remote play within your own house. So
and
I do want to say, try it. If you haven't tried it yet, Jose, it'll surprise you how well it works.
So that's
you can be playing Resident Evil right now. I'm just saying.
I know. I thought about it. And I kind of want to start doing that. That's what made me think about it, because we were watching Naked and Afraid this week, and I was like, God, I just want to be doing a little bit more on Resident Evil. I have my Razer Kishi from Christmas, so
there you go.
I want to get that rolling a little bit too. But yeah, try
it. Bacon, I know me and you talked about this a little bit before. Very interested indeed. If the battery life is decent, you're going to buy one no matter what, because that's just what you do. You just buy them. So, by the way, Jose, my mic gain keeps adjusting. Does yours ever do that? What level are you at for one? It's really quite annoying
right now.
Okay, yeah. It looks like both of ours just go down for some reason. All right, Bacon, go ahead.
So, I had the Steam Deck, and I love the Steam Deck. The only problem that came with the Steam Deck was it ran Proton or Linux based. So I had to sideload my Windows onto a micro SD card, and I had to boot it into Windows, and there was still no way to natively get Game Pass on it. There was workarounds for it. Reason why I originally got it was for it to be solely a Game Pass machine.
Bacon, I don't mean to interrupt. Wasn't there like an official like documentation from Xbox about how to sideload it on the Steam Deck?
There was, but I was having audio driver issues and stuff. I mean, I got it. I was in the second batch to come out. And when mine got here, it was still a sought after device. So I went ahead and flipped it after having it for 2 weeks and made $300 on it just by flipping it. So I was thinking about getting back into the Steam Deck and get another one. And this stuff drops on me. And this one here fits my use case a heck of a lot more, because I do use a lot more Game Pass than I do Steam. But it's the best of both worlds on this one. Having the eGPU compatibility. Now, I don't know if they're going to make you only use the ROG, their eGPU, if I can get a standard eGPU box and then run it. Problem with that, Dan, is you're going to have so many dongles and so many docks. And
Dan is the king of dongle town.
There's going to be a lot of dongles going on running in eGPU.
Hey, let me ask you real quick. When it says it can run a 4090, does that mean you have to have a 4090 connected to this thing? So you have to buy the 4090. Got it. Okay. So I got it. You don't.
Yeah, they have external boxes with PCIe Express on it, and you plug them in, and they're self-powered, and then use a Thunderbolt port because it has the fastest transfer rates.
So I only have to buy a $1,500 GPU and the dock instead of spending $3,000 on the whole thing.
Yes,
I mean you're almost there with the cost of the device. But
so there's a lot of unknowns of what this SoC is going to be, how much RAM is going to be in this thing. But from what Linus was saying, because of course I watched his video. It seems like it's going to be pretty good. And he's had hands on all these. He's had the Neo Next and everything in his hands. So he's seen and held every single one of these things. And he tends to enjoy this one. So I have a feeling it's going to be really good. It also has 500 nits peak brightness. I mean, HDR on a handheld is going to be pretty sick. And then I was also gaming on a micro SD card on the Steam Deck. And you can't even tell the difference, guys. So get the 512, get a micro SD to go with it if you ever need that. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And so like today when I was sitting around with 4 hours of downtime at work, just sitting in my van watching the Masters coverage,
I had that.
I could be playing Skyrim or something like that. So
getting chills. And shout out to Nell in the chat. She said, hello, gentlemen. Hopefully you all get this special little game machine for Christmas. I hope so. No.
That's my wife. Maybe
by the way,
one says no.
Yeah, hint. So by the way, the 512, Jose, my laptop's 512, and I really don't have issues. I just have 2 or 3 games on here easily, and everything we download. So
my MacBook's 256.
And I can upgrade it too. So I'm very excited for this device, but let's move on. Jose mentioned it earlier. Exclusive also coming from Tom Henderson over at Insider Gaming. News story number 2, Sony's next PlayStation handheld. Following days of speculation, Insider Gaming can report that there's a new PlayStation handheld in development. Codenamed the Q-Lite, the next PlayStation handheld is the next piece of Sony hardware that aims to be another piece of hardware of horrible writing that requires a PlayStation 5. Insider Gaming understands that the Q-Lite is not a cloud streaming device, but instead uses remote play with the PS5, a feature that the console has been pushing, PlayStation has been pushing recently, supporting adaptive streaming up to 1080p 60 FPS. This new device will require a constant connectivity to the internet. So kind of like the complete opposite of what the ROG Ally is. This device to me, Bacon, screams like that one. What was that one that just came out that was just streaming only?
The Logitech.
The Logitech.
Yep.
And cool for Game Pass. But apparently this isn't even going to do that, right, Bacon? You have to remote play off your PlayStation 5.
You can remote play on your phone with
right
a
now,
backbone right now. What?
Right now with either device. So what I will say is that if PlayStation manages to get this out first, that will make me a little upset because Xbox had mentioned we will be able to remote play on our Xbox, and we still have no word on that. Like, that's a big deal. I want to be able to play not just Game Pass games in the cloud. I want to play what's on my Xbox remote play. So they need to get on that. So I'm going to throw it over to Billy really quick because Billy, also, I forgot to show you in, celebration of you being in the stream. Of course, I'm eating one of the greatest snacks ever, the Harbo Gold Bears Sour Edition. I've already eaten 24 of these, so that's 220 calories. I got to keep track of that. Also, shout out to Billy for he's on a weight loss. He's doing the jujitsu. He's just killing it over there.
You can see his bike in the background, bud. It's a dream machine.
Right? Little Peloton action,
the Peloton back there. Billy, I know your feelings on the portable device. We don't need to talk about this, Q-Lite. I know you have zero interest in this. I want to know, what are your thoughts on PlayStation overall these days? Like, have you been interested in picking up a PS5 for some reason? Like, do you enjoy Sony games? Like, just what are your thoughts on PlayStation as a whole recently? I'm interested to hear what you think on this.
Who? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I'm going to say, but like, it's just no. Like, there isn't anything.
There's nothing over there that interests you.
Nothing over. I watched a buddy play God of War. So I could get like that similar fix if I wanted to from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I felt, you know what I mean? And I can play that for free on Games Pass, right? Yeah. I don't have to do that. And then The Last of Us, like.
You watched the show? Did you watch? Oh, you hated the show.
The Last of Us. That's like my sister and her husband. They're big PS fans and all that kind of stuff, and they're all about it. But like, it just wasn't. I'd rather go play Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Like,
I can't blame you on that one, Billy.
Like it's to me like The Last of Us was it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from it, but like, it just wasn't. I didn't think it was this Rushmore of a game that the way people talk about it. There's nothing on PlayStation that interests me. There's nothing really like that. You know what I mean? And then here, positive, like from a female perspective, my wife thinks the Xbox One is more aesthetically pleasing. So I can have that one in the living room. Guys, you know how big that is. You know how big that is, right?
Dude. That's a huge
go in the living room if it's not aesthetically pleasing, right? Mm-hmm. So the Xbox One's aesthetically pleasing, and that's wife approved. So boom, there's no debate on this.
Dude, that's a great point, Billy. Like, straight up, dude. Because like,
PS5 is hideous.
It's a giant space station, bud.
And it's loud. Like, really loud.
Like, the PS4 and the PS4 Pro were heinously loud. PS5 is a lot better. I got to get
PS5 disc drive is incredibly loud.
Really? Yeah. Well, do you have a game running in it?
Yes.
If you put a disc in the Xbox Series X, it's loud too. But Billy, really quickly, what are your thoughts on Activision Blizzard, Xbox signing them and getting Call of Duty and Diablo? Is that a big deal to you, or you were probably more about the Bethesda thing, huh?
Yeah, I was way more about the Bethesda. That's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, Call of Duty is really neat, and I like the cross-platform, and like, there's a big community with it, so I think that's really, really cool. But like I said, I'm a Bethesda guy, so I was way more excited when that was going on.
Gotcha. Jose, I'm gonna throw it over to you. What do you think of this Q-Lite? Or same question to you. Do you have any interest in getting a PS5 someday? Because if you do, I'll sell you mine in a little bit. Let me just beat Bloodborne and Last of Us Part 2.
There it is. There it is. D-Wally's trying to get rid of the PS5. I knew it.
To be fair, he did the same thing with the PS4 for me. That's how I played Horizon and Spider-Man before I bought my own. Here's the thing. Am I interested right now? No, man. It's not any like principle thing. It's just purely like, right now I have so much to play.
Too many games
for the foreseeable 6 months. I will be booked. I have nothing to worry about. So I'm not incredibly like imminently trying to do that. But I'm not opposed to it. I'll be honest with you. I always like to search through the Facebook ads, the marketplace. I just think it's a fun place to see what people are selling around me. And I saw a dude selling one for $300, and I was like, I almost thought it was just worth a pickup just to have for $300. That's a great price. But I didn't pull the trigger. I'm just saying, like, I'm not opposed to it. And as much as I know that we're an Xbox podcast, there was a good part of my life where I was a huge PlayStation fan, and I am very grateful. Even though right now PlayStation Jim Ryan, like, that's not a part that I'm been super thrilled about with all the ABK stuff, I still honor the company, right? I still respect everything they're doing. And so in terms of the PS Vita Lite or the Q or whatever it's going to be called, I think it's a cool idea. I mean, I know that a lot of people, my friends that are PlayStation fans, have wanted a successor to the Vita for a long time. Like, that's something that they've actively asked for, or even just support the Vita again. Let us use the old models. So I'm always of the mindset of, like, look, having the Vita doesn't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take away from any of the studios I care about. It doesn't hurt Windows. I guess you could argue it helps in the console war thing, but, like, at the end of the day, I don't really think that anyone is, if they're choosing between Xbox and PlayStation, they're going to be like, oh, it has the Q, definitely going PlayStation. Like, I don't think that's a thing that happens, right? So in the spirit of, like, I want people to be able to play what they want and where they want, I'm fine with it. I'm interested in implementation. Like you said, if it's only cloud-based and if it's only connected to your PlayStation, that seems weird, man. Like, that's a bizarre thing because of the physical media thing. And I get it. Making physical media is expensive. It's hard. It's challenging, right? So I understand the challenge, but it's kind of like one of those things where, like, look, if this is what your people want, you got to meet them where they need it, or they're going to go somewhere else, right? And that's where, like Bacon and I said with the ROG Ally, like, it's kind of cool that, like, Xbox doesn't have to actually make this. They just have to support it. And with a lot of the cloud infrastructure and stuff they're doing that. So it leads to a bright future. So I'm fine with this. I hope it is something great. I worry that if they don't put enough effort into it, or if it's just not what people want, it's going to basically kill it forever, because it's going to come out, they're going to put a bunch of R&D into it, and then it won't sell. And then that'll be Sony saying, so you wanted it, but you didn't buy it, so we're never making it again. Like, that's a no-win for anyone on that side. So that's my only fear kind of moving forward.
Bacon, is this device dead on arrival if it's not 150 or less, just like the PSVR 2?
We know Sony. There's no way this is going to be 150 or less. It's going to be a $500 piece of hardware. I still, for the life of me, cannot figure out who this is for. I guess remote play in a hotel room on Wi-Fi, and you can beam back into your console. I don't know. That's one of the things.
Play it on a plane.
That's one of the things, right? And that's one of the things that always killed me with the Switch, even though the Switch had physical games, is I was always having to piggyback off my phone as a hotspot in my work truck, and it was just inconvenient at best. The Switch is way better than this when you think about it, because it has native support for the games. Games are on a cartridge. I cannot imagine it is only for streaming your own PlayStation games. That would be the biggest blunder on the face of the earth. And what I'm seeing, PlayStation guys aren't even on board with this. So I think this is an early leak, and we're not quite 100% sure what we're getting with this. It just doesn't. None of this lines up for me. It makes zero sense in this grand scheme of things.
Bacon said it best that this is going to be a potential blunder, just like the blunder called the Xbox Series X memory expansion options we have here, boys.
Nice segue.
Goose, did you know, Goose, that you can expand the memory on your Xbox? Did you even know that was possible? That you can add a memory card?
Well, I have like an external, like my terabyte hard drive, but like
besides that, so yes, exactly. So it says a lot right there. Most casual people probably have no idea. Billy, if you look on the back of your Xbox Series X, there is a slot that says expansion card, and you can connect their proprietary SSDs in there. And let me show you one of those right now. But basically, Bacon, SSDs, go look up an SSD. They're like thin. They're probably like this size, right? Okay. And you can pop them into your laptop. You can pop them into your PCs, and you just screw it in. That's what the PS5 can do. It's kind of a pain in the butt, because you literally have to take apart your PS5 in multiple places and take out some screws to put it in. But once it's in, you're good. Xbox took another route. They made these little memory cards that are like SSDs, but only one manufacturer can make them. I believe it was Seagate at first. And now we're finally getting more options. But the good thing with the PlayStation side is that they are you can get a 1 terabyte for like around $100, right? With Xbox, you have to pay almost 200. It launched at $220 for a 1 terabyte. And well, I'll tell you more pricing here. So this is a cheaper Xbox Series X and S memory expansion cards are coming. A 1 terabyte Western Digital Black option spotted. This is coming from Tom Phillips over at Eurogamer. And basically, actually, I might have come. Actually, I should say this came originally from Wario64. Of course, Wario always tweeting out the deals. And this one from Western Digital will launch at $179, so $180 versus Seagate's 1 terabyte option, which is $200 now, but I think it was originally $220, so $20 less. And then can someone look up what the 512 gigabyte prices? So anyway, Billy, there's 2 options now. You can there'll potentially be 2 options. Hopefully this will drive prices down. But can somebody tell me?
Don't you think anybody would like learn? Remember like Nintendo 64, and then all of a sudden you had to get, Donkey Kong 64 came out and you had to get your little thing to expand it. Like, can't we just get it figured out? Like, can't we just buy?
Well, we do. Like, that's kind of what Xbox did. I have to say, it is very easy. And while I toss it over,
$139 for the 512.
Okay, right now for the Seagate option, insane. So Billy, I bought mine on sale Target. It was a crazy deal. I remember I sent it out to you guys in the nerd chat, and I think I only got it for $76 at Target. It was like a flash sale, totally worth it that price. So I say that 512 should be like 100, not even. It should be like $80 or 75, and then 1 terabyte should be 150 or less. I mean, honestly, it should be like 100 for a 1 terabyte. But go ahead, Jose. I saw you raising your hand. I'm going to show Billy the what it looks like.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I philosophically, Dan, I 100% agree with you that like basically these cards are very overpriced. I will say though, just for context, I think that's always important, especially if you're not super into the computing side of gaming consoles. The type of technology that is required to run a game from a card like that, you can't just do with cheap memory, right? It's like the equivalent of like all of us have probably gone to an event where they give you like a flash drive for free, a little 1 gig one or whatever. There are these crappy flash drives that like you try to put something on a 1 gig and it takes for frickin' ever, versus if you buy a really expensive flash drive, it does it instantly because it's like USB 3.0. In the same kind of context, the kind of memory that a PS5 requires or that an Xbox Series X requires to run a game from and to store it fast is it's like a higher tier of memory, right? So it's not the cheapest you can buy. So I do agree with Dan that they should be cheaper. I don't think it's realistic with the technology you need that it's going to be like sub $100, but I think
why though? It already is on PlayStation.
No,
it's base economics right now, right?
Jose, look, or Bacon or Billy, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's just base economics right now, right? There's only one. You can only get one type right now, so of course the price is going to be high. And then after a little bit,
competition for sure.
But even Jose, you're saying why is this so much more expensive? Just because I can just pull it out and put it in, which, by the way, is nice because guess what? I went over my stupid data cap again, you guys, with Comcast. Freaking hate it, downloading all these updates. But now I will just update games on my Series X, and then I take this, plug it into my Series S upstairs, and it transfers super quick, Billy. Like you're talking 120 gigs, it's like 5 minutes, and it'll transfer that game over. It's incredible how the speeds when you go from SSD to SSD.
And that's what Jose is saying is really nice. Like it's one of those, you know what I mean? Like you got to pay the price for something like that to be able to do it. Like but like I agree with what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's expensive, but also it's expensive now. But it's just remember flash drives. Remember those things? Like
so
it was
expensive when they came out, right?
Yeah, like it'll go away.
I just think it's a bad look for Xbox to have it so much more expensive. Even though you're right, Jose, I agree. The convenience factor is there. Like I said, this is amazing. But how many people like me are installing games on this and then transferring it to another Xbox?
Well, but how many people are like me who don't even know, and it's like we don't need it right now because it's like I literally have like 6 games on my Xbox right now anyways, you know.
And I agree with you, Billy, but if you have a Series S, dude, you are screwed on memory. My Series S, I was thinking, Jose, you have one too.
Yeah.
It's only like 364. That's like Warzone, Forza, and Halo, and that's it. Like you're done.
Yeah, but again,
you can install some of those on an external hard drive like Billy. But if it's a Series XS game only, you're screwed. But for the most part, there aren't too many of those games. Let's be real, and you can install it on an external hard drive, which is nice. But go ahead, Jose. Go ahead, and unless Bacon wants to say something about that.
Well, that thing I was just going to say to that same point is like what Goose said, that like how many people are actually running out of storage to the point where they feel like I can't delete what I have because I'm between 5 games and I need all the data or something. That's a very small subscription. Same thing on PlayStation. Same thing on PlayStation 5. How many people are actually opening their PS5s to change out the memory stick? Even though you can for a relatively cheap price, most people, like, they wouldn't do that in their lifetime, right? Because it's too scary to open it. You damage it and you destroy it. Their parents are certainly not letting their young or teenage kids do that, right? Unless they feel comfortable with that. So I would argue that these are like not common use cases. I still ultimately agree with Dan that the price should come down more. It should have come down faster. We're 2 years into the cycle. They should allow more competition. But I understand the technical side of why they did this. It's not just a pure it's not a cash grab for the sake of cash grab. There is technology that does necessitate that extra cost, I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway,
Bacon, you're on my page with this. It should be cheaper. Am I right?
When as a PC enthusiast, I've gone from spinning hard drives to 2.5-inch SSDs to then M.2s. When I originally purchased M.2s, I got 2 500 gigabyte Samsungs to get a total of a terabyte of Gen 3 speed SSD, and I paid $500 for 1 terabyte. But when this drive came out,
you bought it too. You have one?
Oh no, I have one. So when this came out at the launch of the Xbox, the Gen 4 NVMe SSDs, this was right in line with those. It was a little bit more because of the CFX Express adapter that is used for the back of the thing.
Wait. Are these the DDR5? Are they like that? Or
they're Gen 4. Right? It's Gen 4.
Okay.
It's the slower speed Gen 4. And so when the PlayStation, the standard hard drives that went in the PlayStation also, can we call them hard drive, SSD? They were right in line with what the Xbox had for a Gen 4 1 terabyte drive. They were within $20 of each other. Problem is that technology since has gotten a lot cheaper. So they have much better options than we do. I have 4 terabytes in my rig right now of Gen 4 NVMe SSDs. And I still aren't quite to the price of what I paid for the 1 terabyte with the Xbox. This is the one blunder that Xbox has made in this cycle. And I don't know if it was for a hot swappability. Maybe that was the reason. Maybe with the Series S, whatever, be able to just unplug it, go right to your other system and have the storage. Maybe that's why they went this way. I cannot for the life of me believe that a mid-gen refresh, if we have one, isn't going to have a standard slot. And I've been in my PlayStation multiple times. It is not scary in any way to add a hard drive. That is quite possibly one of the easiest things you'll ever do. It doesn't
coming from the computer whiz.
Yeah, you build rigs for fun, but
it's literally nothing.
It's not that bad. I do have to
seriously.
Bacon, I disagree. It's definitely going to have the expansion card. Why are they making these, and why are more options going to come out? It's going to be there. And I have to say, you're absolutely right. It has to be to be able to swap it. And it is convenient. I'm not going to lie. Like Bacon, for people like me who have a Series S and an X, it's super easy. I just popped it back in just like that. Like it takes it's a second.
And I haven't
go upstairs and do it. I love it. Don't get me wrong. And I think for the price I paid for $512, $75, absolutely worth it at that price. And I'm so glad I have it.
Yeah, but I paid full pop for the 1 terabyte. I had to go to 3 different Best Buys the day they came out. I bought it then for the full price, and I've never thought about it since then. It's just lived in the back of my console. It's never been something I've ever thought about. It is a console warrior talking
first world
point,
problem.
And I agree. PlayStation did a substantially better job at this. But since I bought it, and I've never even thought about it in 2.5 years. It's literally just lived in my Xbox, and this price for this 179 is not a great price. This WD Black, it's not a good price. It just isn't. I mean, I can go down to Micro Center and get a 2 terabyte Gen 4 drive right now for my. I'm
heading down. Shout out to Micro Center, sponsor us. Hey, I just want to give a huge shout out to Cordy Morgs, Court Siegel. He says, "What up, Goose? Coach Goose, welcome." Court, we got to get you on the show here next time. Really want you to be here, especially maybe with Billy. So enough memory talk. Let's jump into something more fun. Vampire Survivors second expansion, Tides of the Foscari. I don't know. You guys have played this. Arrives in April. New character, new weapons, a big forest. This is coming from Matt Wales over at Eurogamer again. By the way, Vampire Survivors, didn't it just win Game of the Year at the BAFTA Awards?
Yeah, you did, dude. It's so good. It's
So
good.
I have to say, I'm the only person in the world apparently who has not played Vampire Survivors yet. So I'll throw it over to you. But
An idiot.
this new DLC comes out on April 13th. So in a week, you'll be able to jump. Bacon's going to have to go back in and get all those Achievos. So Bacon, I think you're the #1 Vampire Survivors fan. I'm going to throw it over to you. Are you excited for this? I mean, obviously you are, right?
It's $1.99. I mean, who doesn't pay $1.99 for an expansion?
Hell
the
yeah,
amount of
bud.
hours you get out of this game is ridiculous. It'd be perfect for the ROG Ally is this game right here. Just hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It is an incredibly fun game. Buy it, play it, or download it, and then just buy the expansions like I did. I bought the first one. I'll buy this one because it's $1.99. Who I waste that at Del Taco.
Oh, gross. Billy, have you played Vampire Survivors?
No, I have not.
You should.
I have not.
Dude, this has your name written all over it.
8-bit.
Old school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like I'm in.
Do it.
And then Jose, quickly, will you be checking this out with too many games, right?
I mean, dude, so here's the thing. Right now, and I'm going to talk more about this when we get to games. I've been playing an online game on my phone in that downtime when we're watching things like Naked and Afraid that my wife wants to watch. Before that, the last time I did something like that, it was Vampire Survivors. But the problem was I would do that and then she'd go to bed and I would still stay there on my phone because, dude, it's such a good game. I will definitely pick this up. And honestly, to support the company, like even if I don't have time to play it right now, day one, I'm purchasing it because I certainly want to support their next endeavor because this was just super rad. Goose, you download. Oh, look at that. He's hitting the download button as we speak live right here, folks. So
very nice. You can play this on the cloud, right? This is a perfect.
Oh, yeah. It's perfect cloud gaming because it's not too much data.
Touch controls and everything right on the phone.
Shout out. Billy's playing right now as we speak. Next quick news story. The new Xbox wireless controller Remix Special Edition is made partly from reclaimed CDs, water jugs, and other controllers parts. This is coming from Daniel Ruiz, Senior Marketing Manager over at Xbox Accessories, April 4th, 2023. Mixing post-consumer recycled resins with a regrind consisting of previously molded colored parts creates custom earth tone colors with subtle variations, swirling markings, and texturing, giving the Remix Special Controller its own look and feel. Not only that, by incorporating these regrinded materials, post-consumer recycled resins, and including an Xbox rechargeable battery pack, Xbox is exploring ways to use less new plastic and reduced waste. So this new controller is launching for $84.99, a little pricey, not gonna lie, and comes out April 18th. Goose, why don't you go look this up while I get some other guys' opinions on this? Jose, you're Mr. Aesthetic. What do you think of the look of this controller? I'm not gonna lie, I think it's kind of cool, to be honest.
I think it's fire, bud.
Dude,
it's controller. Like I am not the kind of guy who buys multiple controllers. You can't see it in my video, but up here I still have an in the box white controller from when we bought the Series S because that was like a bonus during this deal. Like get an extra controller, and my dream is to like customize it to put it somewhere in the background. I just haven't had time or I haven't decided what to customize it as. I love the idea of having lots of controllers, but I think practically that's a weird. That was weird. That's a weird thing to do because it's like I only really need one controller. Like even right now, I have a Series 1 Elite, I have the Series 2 Elite, I have the one that came with my Series X, I have the one from before, I have the white one, and I only use my Series 2 Elite. Like I don't want to use anything else. I know Dan has like the Scuff Trio and stuff like that, but that's the only reason why I'm not into buying it. I do again applaud Xbox for doing this. Yeah, there's the Scuff. And I want to see more with the consoles, even though, again, I'm not buying a new console anytime soon. I just like that idea of like, not everyone's hardware has to look exactly the same. right? So I all of their designs I haven't loved. I will say this is the first one where I was kind of like, man, if this was like if it dropped sub 50, or if there was a price somewhere, or like
even normal price, even like 60.
I'd consider, like,
dude,
that's
it's pretty
kind of a
sick.
dope one to have, dude. It's a cool controller. I love the green. I like that there's like the two-tone shades, and of course I admittedly do like the idea that they're using some recycled stuff. I mean, I think it's always funny when marketing's like, this is us saving the earth. And it's like, well, how much did you use? Well, like, we save like 3%. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. So
we
I think,
mass produce these Xbox One controllers. We got to do something with them.
exactly. But no, I think it's cool, man. I definitely applaud them for this. I do have to laugh a little bit because it's like almost 420, and I was like, that's a lot of green for 420, right? So maybe think of Goose a little bit. So
dude, the front of this controller is sick with the
It's
green,
dope,
the
bud.
black, and the
Yeah.
gray buttons, and the lighter green, and the Xbox logo. And then on the sides, it's got, for audio listens, it got like a brownish wood tone on the for the grips, and then the back of the controller is like I don't know, kind of blue that is kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very unique blue. And then the battery pack is gray as well. What do you think about them including the rechargeable battery pack? Is that just kind of like, it's still, I guess it can still use batteries, so that's not that big of a deal. Billy, do you have any special controllers, or are you just rocking the standard Xbox Series controller? Yeah, okay. So
standard Xbox Series controller with Duracells, baby. I am.
You don't even use like rechargeable batteries?
No. No, I am burning through them bad boys.
I'm with you.
Wow. I'm a savage.
Old
straight.
school.
All right. Well, have you seen some of the special edition controllers or the different colors? Which one would you get? Which one is your favorite?
The one, honestly, I've always got one. It's always just sitting in my cart. I can't remember but I made one forever ago because it almost made it look like a SNES controller because it kind of had like the little colors and stuff like that.
Buttons.
And I've never pulled the trigger on it. That's the one. I don't know. It's just a base elite or whatever. I had it made and I've just never did it. So
see those SNES controllers back there, Billy? Can you see them back there? The Famicom ones.
Shout out to Danny D. Dinosaur in the chat.
Shout out to, he
poop,
just said
and
poop.
then saying, I'm with you, Goose. I have a 50 pack of Home Depot batteries ready to rock.
Oh my gosh, you guys, you just buy a $15 on Amazon and you just
The rechargeable ones, but that's what I
you just swap them out, guys. You just swap them out and charge them. I'll show you in a second.
Here's a great story. Speaking about burning batteries, right? Remember when Miggy was hitting Battlefield 1 like hard?
Oh no, I don't even want to.
I'll never forget that.
Like when Miggy was like sweating
on
Battlefield 1. That dude would burn through batteries like so quick. Well, because he was living with me. So I would take the battery pack, the big thing, and I would set it because, Miggy's kind of short. So I'd always put him in different spots around the house. So a little high. So when he'd die, like in the middle of the match, he'd be like,
where's
panicking.
The batteries?
Where's the fucking battery? Just try. Yeah, it was great.
Bacon, where does this green? You're all about the green saving the earth. Where does this stand in your rankings of special edition controllers?
This very well could be one of the best looking controllers Xbox has ever made. I love that color scheme. I'm not a huge fan of the battery door being a same color as the grips. I think that's weird. I don't know why they wouldn't just kept it blue like the rest of the back there. But update, my Series 2 Elite core is broken and going back to Xbox.
How does this happen?
My left thumbstick completely spins off and then it just sticks. I have no idea what happened. Sifu broke it. And I also broke my blue controller on Sifu also. So Sifu has claimed
Maybe you should stay away from Sifu.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the controllers. It sounds like a you problem at this point.
I've never had a stick problem. I've had bumper issues. I've never had a stick.
Exactly. So you're pushing it too hard.
Quitting? So I'm trying to decide if I'm just going to try to order some Hall Effect sensors sticks and put them in this myself, or send it back for warranty. But
you got to get it warranty, but you need to do that afterwards, guys. Billy, this is what you see. You just go on Amazon, you get this. It comes with 4 batteries. This is like $20. You put them in. When these run out, you swap them out for the others. Then you put the old ones in there and you charge them. Okay, let's save the environment a little bit.
I tend to agree with that statement.
I get it. We can try to save the environment all we want. Okay, but there's like a bajillion people in China and a bajillion people in India that ain't doing their part, so it don't matter what we do anyways. So we might as well smoke them if we got.
All right.
We might as
for the
well.
end of the
Billy,
world.
Billy is speaking the truth. But Billy, can you tell me how fire this custom scuff is? Like, listen, this
it's on sale right now too.
Yeah,
not this exact same one, but yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I had it, and I had the purple bumpers, the buttons, and all that. Yeah,
but if you're gonna do it, you got to get it with the Elite, Billy, because you need to have the back paddles. You need to have the buttons on the back. It's a game changer, man. It will improve.
Bring back the Duke. Can we just bring back a customized?
The Duke is back. You can get a Duke right now.
Get one.
It's wired only though.
Yeah, see, it's wired only. I just want to customize.
Well, the original Duke was wired. You got.
Yeah, we know, but I want my own.
He does need the Duke with those paws.
Oh, that's true.
That's fair.
Guys, let's close the news with the last fun story coming to Xbox Game Pass. And this is for the beginning of April 2023. We have available today Loop Hero on console and PC. The Lick has thrown the world into a timeless loop and plunged its inhabitants into a never-ending chaos. Wield an expanding deck of mystical cards to place enemies, buildings, and terrain along each unique expedition loop for the brave hero. Coming soon, Iron Brigade, cloud and console. This is out today. Join the mobile trench brigade to protect humanity from the evil monovision menace in this tower defense shooter from Tim Schafer's Double Fine Productions. I had no idea. Maybe I'll have to check this. I love Double Fine. This, I cannot wait. April 12th, Ghostwire Tokyo, cloud, PC, Xbox Series X and S. Tokyo is overrun by deadly supernatural forces as a dangerous occultist causes the city's population to vanish in an instant. Join forces with a powerful spectral entity on their quest for vengeance and master a powerful arsenal of abilities to unravel the dark truth behind the disappearances as you face the unknown in Ghostwire Tokyo on April 12th, including the new Spiders Thread update. Cannot wait to play that. Here's one for Goose. NHL 23 on consoles coming into EA Play. Go play some hockey with your buddies on April 13th. And then April 18th, we have Minecraft Legends Cloud, console and PC, day one on Game Pass. The piglins are threatening to consume an overworld. Are you the hero in this gentle land needs? Explore lush biomes to make alliances with new friends and familiar mobs, then face the piglins in epic battles. But be warned, they always fight back. I have no idea what any of that meant. In case you missed it, Goat Simulator is back on Game Pass. DLC updates. You get early access for PGA Tour available now. Jurassic World Evolution. There's another species pack. Everspace 2 full release on PC is on April 6th. And then leaving Game Pass on the 15th of April. Life is Strange, True Colors, Moonglow Bay, Panzer Corps 2, Rainbow Six Extraction. I never got to play it. I guess I'm not missing out on much. The Dungeon of Nalhulbula and the Long Dark and the Rift Breaker are all leaving Xbox. I said it the exact same way when it would.
I remember that when it
came
out.
I know. And you said, yep, there we go. I knew you'd catch that, Jose. Does anyone have any games that they're going to pick? Obviously, for me, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon, what about you? Are you going to check out Minecraft? I never played Dungeons.
Early reviews coming back on Minecraft Legend are incredibly positive, so I definitely will be playing that. Windows Central says it's the next big hit on our hands, so I have a feeling it is going to be huge because Minecraft is the most popular IP on the planet, no matter what PlayStation says about COD.
Yeah, I was going to say, not Jim Ryan doesn't think Minecraft's that big of a deal. Jose, anything that you want to play?
Oh, I'm pumped for Ghostwire. And honestly, like, I'm not usually a big sports dude. Like, there's a couple games I'll play, but I kind of want to pick up NHL just because the Avs doing well. I kind of want to see where that technology's come on the NHL game. And I didn't know that about the PGA Tour game because I like playing golf games. I think they're fun to like just chill out. I mean, I'm not playing them right now because I'm kind of caught up in a couple things, but I will check out those too. And then Minecraft. Do you know, Bacon? Is there a story mode or is it purely the online co-op stuff?
I believe there's definitely going to be a story attached to this one.
because I kind of want to see if I can play with Penelope, honestly. Like I'm trying to find some more stuff for her to get into that's more story based. I try to do a little bit of the world building stuff. It's just a little bit too
as long as she'd be able to wrap her head around the RTS strategy in the game, but it's going to be a real dumbed down RTS. So I'm sure it's.
I think she needs to play Legends.
Well, Dungeons.
Dungeons. Sorry, Dungeons.
She would have a hoot in
That's like Diablo.
Okay, so maybe that's what I'll do is start Dungeons.
I'd start on
Dungeons
Legends
as she gets bigger. Okay.
You two should play through Dungeons.
I'm pumped for
play Dungeons.
Some good stuff for sure.
Billy, is there anything you want to play or interest you?
No, definitely the PGA Tour, especially because I think this is the first time Augusta's back actually as a course since the Masters edition.
But it's only a trial for that. That's just like a 10-hour EA,
but I'm probably going to buy it for sure because I think Bacon right because it's the Masters edition was the last time Augusta was actually in a video game. So
wow,
that's pretty exciting for that one for sure.
I'm pretty pumped.
Shout out, so many games to play. Speaking of games to play, gentlemen, what have we been playing and or watching? I gotta throw it over to our guest. Billy, are you playing any games recently? What is going on with you? What have you been playing?
I haven't really been playing much, but I hopped on the Ted Lasso band train, bandwagon finally. Started watching that, me and the wife, and that's a great show. Wow.
So good, bud.
So good,
like really good show. Like
good.
It's funny. there's it's really good. And especially coming from that world, it like hits a little harder. Some of those episodes, it's like, dang man, like type thing. So doing that, but no, game wise, it's been a little dark. I've been kind of waiting to hit you guys up to see when we get down on that Halo. I've been getting the
We've
itch.
been playing, man.
Getting the itch.
We've been playing, dude. You love it, Billy. Right now, they've got some of the old maps.
Some of the
like
maps
a couple Halo 1 maps that are in there. They've got what was it? I think it's Damnation, right? So Billy, you got to get in. This is a great time to be on Halo. We need to schedule a Nerd Fest with you. Okay, you need to make the time.
Wish they'd bring back Breakout though.
I think actually there is Breakout in Forge mode. You can go play Breakout in one of the Forge modes. But you'd have to get a crew to have the PvP. But yeah, we could do it, Billy. So just think about it. Jose, tell me about your Resident Evil 4 adventures.
I mean, I can tell you, man. This week I've just been putting in pure work.
Resident Evil.
Man, this game and if you read the hype all over the Twitter streets, but it's a fire game. And I know I'm obviously like I love horror games, but man, even people that don't are like, this game is just so good. And part of it is because, as you probably heard,
let me interrupt you right there. Which one is better to you, Dead Space or RE4? Because I gotta say, Sacred Symbols, they all said Resident 4 is a good game, but it's not true survival horror. They all said that Dead Space is actually better.
I wouldn't call it true survival horror. If we're talking survival
it's
horror,
an action horror.
I would say it's definitely
like a
third
person action game.
But to be fair, that's also what made it so special when it came out on the GameCube, right? Because the first Resident Evils were that true survival horror where like you kind of have to want that, where you have limited supplies and you have to restart because you run out of ammo.
RE2 forever.
And I do too. But RE4 was different because you got drops from every enemy. They added like the money system. They added the melee system, right? Like there was a lot of things that they added that they just, I think, have really perfected. I do have a couple of things that I like, man, that would have been kind of cool, different, but I understand. I'm not like mad about any of the decisions they did with the remake. I do appreciate that they kept some of the like kitsch, the like funny lines that Leon says, but I
love that they kept the corniness and the campiness. Like it's all there. I recorded every clip where he says something dumb like that because it's hilarious. So yeah, shout out. I really do appreciate that. The bingo. Yeah.
The famous,
everybody go bingo.
Yeah, that's a famous line.
What are we buying?
Yeah, what are you buying?
What are you buying?
Then they actually made the vendor is actually a much more like personable guy. Where in the first time I ever played it, he just basically that's all he says.
What are you buying?
But now he like talks to you and kind of cheers you on and stuff like that. So it's been.
Have you bought a rocket launcher yet?
I didn't. I've had the money a couple times, but I've been upgrading other weapons and stuff like that.
He's like, I always thought, I had to keep it on an even playing field, but that's just me. He kind of makes fun of you a little bit.
Is it hard to find ammo for it? Because I haven't bought it.
Well, it's a one-time use, and I think you only can use like 3 of them. Or I bought
it's
it.
It's like $80,000, bud. That's crazy. Anyway,
yeah. Well, you're gonna want to use it on some bosses.
It's been great, man. I'm on chapter 11, I think, right now. So like for Dan, I just got past like the bug phase, and I'm now kind of in those like mining caverns. I'm having a great time.
Did you do the Indiana Jones minecart ride?
Not yet. That's coming. I'm real close to that. The shooting galleries, I've only been to 2 of them, but I got S on all of mine so far. I saw my boy Dan today. He did the S on the 4C run. That is insane. Boys. For those that know what that means.
Got the Chivo.
He did. So it's been great, man. I'm having so much fun. I think I'm gonna do a new game plus because I'd like to play with some of the cool weapons. But I'm gonna probably hold off once I get there because Mercenaries actually drops tomorrow. That's the new DLC add-on. We got Ghostwire in 6 days. We got Jedi Survivor in like 12. Like it's just so much coming right now that I can't do. I don't know if I'll do the new game right now, but my goal is to try to finish it this weekend because I want to do the DLC and then I want to jump into Jedi Survivor once that comes out as well. So overall, I've been playing that. The other thing I've been playing that I do want to chat about, we're checking out that costs you nothing on your phone is called Mighty Doom. So it's a little.
Yeah, I heard that's pretty good.
It's basically Doom, but like it's a top-down view, and it's small little levels. It took a little bit to get used to. But it's really fun, man, and it's built to be a mobile game where like you got to go and check this thing that like every time you get like more coins and you upgrade stuff and you open chests and stuff. But for like a cute little Billy's downloading right now.
Billy's getting another
for a cool little like banger game that you can play a couple minutes at a time. It's cool, man, and I just like the Doom experience.
Why isn't this like available for us to play on console?
Well, you'll see once you play it. I don't know if it would be that fun on a console.
Orientation or something.
It is vertical orientation. It's not first person view. It's like a top down sprite that you're playing. But it's cool, man. I've enjoyed playing it. And I also say shout out to Shank for joining us in the chat. Good to see him finally.
Yeah,
and
let's get some shout outs right there, Jose. Dan Driscoll said Court doesn't pay his internet bill on time ever. So shout out to Dan for busting out on Court. And then Dan says, how can I forward your Twitch link? We already did because Shank wants to watch. Court said, press the share button, Dan. And then Court said, hot take, extra toasty Cheez-It are still elite. That's he's absolutely right, Jose.
Agreed.
He's absolutely right.
He's here. Technology is spooky, is what Dan said. Shout out to Chris Shank. Love a good live game pod. Haven't kept up on gaming since Hogwarts bummed me out 20 hours in. We got to get it back. Jose, tell him about your opinions on that in a second. And then Court said, fun fact, one of my biggest jump scares when is in RE4 when you shoot the leg. Fun fact, Court, it's still there. I did it just for fun. And there's you should go look up the Easter eggs on that, Court, because there are now multiple ways to trigger that. So go check that out if you're not going to buy it. And then Bacon wants to know, why did Hogwarts bum him out? Repetitive, but I was never into lore. Chris, I don't blame you. I never played any of the Harry Potter games or watched the movies or read the books, so I have no interest in this. Snelling keeps telling me I have to play it, but we already had Jose cover it, so Jose beat it.
And Shank, I hear you, man. The other part, to be fair, is like Goose is playing Doom right now. Is that my daughter and I are reading through the books right now, and I was never super into the lore. I like it, I get it, and I'm cool to like be in any fantasy lore, but I enjoyed it, man. To be fair, I also had a vasectomy and was stuck in my bed for 2 days, so like I could burn through literally hours and hours and hours on end. So I had a good time. But man, no worries. I hope you find the game you like. Join us on Halo. Thanks for joining us today. But that's what I've been playing. Bacon, how about you, bud?
So I realized that the Season 2 Call of Duty Battle Pass expires in a week, so I've been doing nothing but shipment 24/7 to unlock the 2 guns that I had to get. Now I saw there's a skin for a female character I want to get, so I'm going to have to do a few more nights of grinding. I'm not going to finish it. I've been playing around a little bit with the Halo Battle Pass, which I actually really enjoy this season of Halo. Super, super good. But I have been playing Sifu like an I don't know what it is about
this.
He was going to say
controllers playing Sifu.
It is super addicting, and the mechanic about this game is if you it's basically a long roguelite. I mean, you finish, if you die, you come back to life, but you're older. And then once you reach certain ages, you get less health, but more strength as you die. So now that I've beaten the 3rd boss now twice, and I'm gone to the next level, I'm coming to the next level at age 69 as a female martial artist. And I'm just like, nice. I have no chance. And I just get smashed, and I got to start over at 2. And now I'm trying to go through and getting through every level without having any deaths, so I can then be 20 years old and going into the one that's I'm having trouble with. But it is the combat, the martial arts, the kung fu. It is so good. The art style is awesome. Incredibly difficult game, incredibly difficult. And it made me wonder after coming off giving up on Wulong, and I'm just like, why would I go into Sifu? It's almost the same game, but I like I like the aesthetic and the content of Sifu way better because of my love for old martial arts and black and white movies and all that stuff. It really, it's really scratching that itch, and I want to have that done before Jedi, but I don't see it happening unless I bump down the difficulty.
How many bosses? Like how many? You said third boss. How far are you like into the game progressing?
I think there's 5 total biomes and 5 total bosses to clear.
So you're more than
achievements have completely dried up on me. It's like I know what I have ahead of me, and I got to start all over again to try to keep my death counter low. But I've unlocked every move set I can with XP, just grinding the first level over and over and over again. But it's a super good game. Definitely worth the $40 if you have any interest in martial arts games or anything like that. It's so worth it. It's insane.
I'll go last here. Jose, I did complete Resident Evil 4 the other night. It might have been last night, actually, or the night before. Again, it's an incredible game. Just amazingly well made, beautiful, plays well. I can see why if this was the first Resident Evil for some people, like if they just jumped into this, that they could think that, man, this is amazing. This is incredible. But for people who've been playing Resident Evil from the beginning, I'm still more a fan of the RE1s, the Resident Evil 2. I still think Resident Evil 2 Remake is my favorite Resident Evil. It's not even close either. I've always enjoyed 4, but you can see this is the start of it going a little more towards the crazy action, and then
stuff,
it goes really left turn in Resident Evil 5. So I'd be super interested to see where they take that. I think they should completely remake it and not just like take what was there, like this. Like there's differences here, Jose, but I don't feel like they're that huge. I do think it does a relatively good job staying close to the game. There's one section that I know they completely cut out, and I won't tell you about it, but to me, I was like, that's fine that they take that out. But again, I completely recommend Resident Evil 4. To me, if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a 5 out of 5, a must play, but it's not my favorite Resident Evil. It's always going to be 2 and even 1. And I think I would go, I'll tweet about this, but I think it would be 2 and then 7. I think Resident Evil 7 is so underrated and so good.
It was a great game,
and scary. Like I would put it there. Then I probably put 4. And then I might even put Village after. Like Village has grown on me. Like
Village. I loved Village.
Dude, I got to get shout out to Capcom. Incredible. If Sony bought them and I never could play a Resident Evil game on Xbox again, I'd be devastated.
I would buy Dane's PS5.
I'd have to play on PlayStation, God forbid. But I do want to shout that out. Also jumped in Billy into Forza Horizon, the Baja, having a blast driving around the Sierra Nueva, driving down the sand dunes. Every time I play that game, it's just fun. That game is just pure fun, especially in short bursts. I love it and rewarding. Unlock some easy achievos for jumping in. But the problem with the DLCs is you got to do a lot. Like if you're gonna unlock everything, like shout out to Bubble Boy when he had every achievement, including the Hot Wheels. Like that's insane to me. And to do this, you just have to grind. It's not like it's terribly difficult, but a great game. And then shout out to Court for this one. Been playing some more Hollow Knight, and as the kids say, this game is busting, Billy. This game is incredibly like it's like a little bit more. I don't know how to describe a hardcore Ori. I guess I don't know. Ori's pretty hardcore too, difficulty wise, but like a darker, more mysterious. I do think I like Ori more. Like that definitely sucked me in big time. That's what she said initially, but I do like Hollow Knight a lot. I think I was planning on maybe trying Sekiro or The Last of Us to try to play something before Ghostwire Tokyo, but I know I was gonna say fit something in, but I think I'm just gonna stick with Forza Horizon DLC and Hollow Knight, and then play Ghostwire. And then, guys, I want to play Star Wars, but I think I'm just going to buy it and put it in the back burner because I really want to play Redfall. Like, I'm really excited to play something
I'm
new.
pumped for Redfall.
I've played Star Wars. I hear it's a sequel in all the best ways, which means it's the same thing, but on a bigger scale, which is great. I'm going to love Star Wars, but I'm really interested to see what Redfall is because I'm all about Arcane and I'm all about Far Cry. And if it's an arcane Far Cry game, I am all aboard with vampires. Come on. And some co-op in there. So I cannot wait for Redfall. So that is what I've been playing. Also been watching Ted Lasso. You know, it's Ted Lasso. But I did want to say, Jose, I did watch another show on Apple TV. I wrote it down and I already forgot the name of it. And I've watched like 4 episodes of it. Shrinking. I said Shrinking is okay. The one with Jason Segel and Harrison
Yeah, I haven't
Ford.
seen it. Do you like it?
It's okay. To me, it almost screams, hey, we're going to try Ted Lasso only with a shrink. And it's going to be, it's almost like the same formulas going on here. And even the intro music, I'm like, is this the same band doing a different song for the intro? Like I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern with Apple TV. So
what about Tetris?
I showed Allie the trailer for Tetris. I'm like, you want to watch Tetris? And she's like,
no.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Dan, you should check out Mythic Quest on Apple TV. That's I want to watch season 3. I haven't seen season 3. It's a funny show.
Is Allie gonna watch it?
She might. I think I'm gonna try to get Victoria to watch it. I think I could get her to watch it.
Okay, Court. Breaking news. Court said Sekiro above all. I know, Court. I just beat Wolong and I got 1,000 of that. I was just a little worn out, Cordy. Like I couldn't get my ass kicked again with Sekiro. I do want to play Sekiro. I have a plan. I'll get to it. I promise. I will play Sekiro. I promise. So,
you're not gonna.
Yeah, eventually, guys. Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I know Billy has been waiting this entire time to share the incredible. Oh no, he's shaking. It's been a bad week. Oh no, Billy, what has been the best food you had this week? Tell me something good.
Oh man, the problem is I've been focused on like dieting and stuff.
Oh.
So it's been all I mean, it's good food, like steaks and everything, but it's just it's pretty boring, Although that cow that we bought is delicious.
Tell us something you made that was the best food you had this week. Come on, Billy.
Yes, I did. I made these huli chicken legs, like they were Hawaiian chicken, basically teriyaki kind of chicken legs, and man,
sounds incredible.
They were delicious.
And bacon, I'm assuming here we go.
HPO, how was that pizza you warmed up from Costco the other day? Pretty good?
Oh, well, it's not my turn, sir, but I'm very excited. Hey, bacon, you
talk to remember that for when it's your turn. We had one of those the other night. That was pretty tasty. And tonight we had some taquitos with some cheese dippy cheese. So you can't go wrong with taquitos. And that is my boring food life, sir.
I love it, man.
We'll get to that in a second, B. I see you, B.
Yeah, B will answer. I didn't mean to leave you out. So I did have like many episodes ago, Bacon recommended these like Detroit style pizzas from Costco that you can buy in the frozen section. We bought them and I hadn't they just been sitting in the freezer. And then
Motor City. I think I've mentioned.
Yeah, it's the Motor City ones, exactly.
I'm just gonna say this.
They were delightful, bud. I mean, like very, very good. Dangerous because I wanted to eat that whole mother by myself, which is not good. But it was very, very good. The other thing I had, it had been a little bit, and I'm actually working on a counter for us. I don't have it ready this week, but it'll be soon.
Popeyes.
Last Friday was like a rough day at work, and I at one point in the day I looked at all my coworkers and I was like, does anyone want Popeyes? And literally everyone was like, I'm in. And I was taking orders and got to go pick it up, and they killed it. They did a great job on the order. It was like hot and ready. It was delightful. So great. It was a great normal week of food. Nothing super crazy in terms of the week so far. I mean, great daily dinners and that kind of stuff, tacos and everything, but excited for the spring, right? Like Billy's a griller year round. Like he always shows us that. He is. He's 100% certified grill master, but I'm excited for kind of being outside warm weather burgers and dogs and chicken and that kind of stuff. So that is what I had. I will start for those that don't know.
I haven't shared my best food. Thanks, Jose. The best food I had this week was barbecue pulled pork. Allie put it in the crock pot, and then we've got a little bit of corn on the side. Then I'm telling you guys, the Walmart battered fries. I can't remember. Got to get them. The great value. Incredible. So shout out to Allie. That was the best food I had this week. Go ahead, Jose. Remind everyone what B asked us last week.
Yeah, sorry. And B, thank you for reminding us, but I'm sorry we forgot about it last week. But it was our 100th episode, and he had asked us in our chat to talk about our favorite memory or some of our favorite memories from the 100 shows that we had done before. which is a great question. Do either of you guys want to go first, or Goose, since you've listened to some, do you want to go first?
Yeah, Goose, tell us what your favorite episode has been so far.
I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely just loved, like, kind of in the beginning, like, just like hearing like the top 10 list and like hearing those lists like at the beginning, because it was just fun. They were super nostalgic, and like, you know, for me, I really liked them because like I was been away, and like listening to those, like breaking down film and stuff, it was just kind of fun, like hearing you guys talk about like the top 10s and then like debating that goofy stuff. So any of like those early episodes where it was like, you know, top 10 food, top 10 burger, top 10 candies, just it was just those were probably my favorite.
Bacon, what about you?
I don't really have a favorite episode other than the solo cast. Shout out to you, Dan. That was a solid episode. My favorite part of the show was just getting to meet new friends that I play video games with all the time now, and I podcast with all the time now. If it wasn't for this show, I never would have met anybody. Now I'm playing with Pack all the time and Snelling, and it's just I have a